You become successful through two things. One or the other, and if you have both, it's pretty good. Supposedly Beyonce has both. You're either very, very talented or you're very, very organized. And if you have both, that's going to get you somewhere. But if you have one or the other, you can really kind of maneuver the time-space continuum in a powerful way. If you're, one or the other, it's going to get you somewhere. Organization and planning, as I've been saying the past couple of days, this stuff is, we don't think about this in the spiritual realm. We don't want to. We want to kind of. There's an idea that somehow you're exploring your consciousness, and you kind of. There's a lot of toxic mimics of what that looks like in the culture and in the kind of the transition of the age that we came from and the age that we were in now. There's been a lot of kind of examples of spiritual seekers that drop out of life and kind of, they can't handle the grid, and there's a lot of kind of that kind of conversation. And what we want from you guys, and what you have an opportunity to really accelerate now in this solstice window, is we want you to become more engaged with your life. We want you to become more yourself, more in kind of command of the time-space continuum, more in kind of a focus of where you're pointing your time and your energy and your resources every day. We want you to become more engaged in your communities and in politics and in the geopolitics and in your relation. The engagement or in the participation is actually what's going to give you an experience of spirit, and not the other way around. Because in the last age, these mantras were secret, these practices were secret, and you would go in a cave for 3 years. We went to one of these places. You go in a cave for 3 years, and you go and retreat. If you can actually hold your mind stream in a conscious and elevated way, engaging with life, you will get a mastery that you can't get in a cave. That's what this age is about, not this other. Right? So that's why we, go on these kind of adventures. You have to engage in the world in some way. And what you're doing every day is going on the adventure of your life. And you spend a little percentage of the day, handling your inner affairs, so that then you can go and participate in a more ready and a more willing and a more active and a more vital way. And that's what this age is about. That's why these practices aren't secret anymore. So that's the whole game. So you want to be planning things and getting organized about how you're spending your resources every day. That's basically your morning practice. Like, okay, I have 24 hours, and 2 of those hours I spend, doing some yoga and meditating, and that's 2 out of 24. That's just a fraction of your 24 hours. I saw some article where it's like, there's, a small percentage of people that need to sleep more than 10 hours a day. And I was like, you need to relax. You want to calm down. I mean, I don't know. The human incarnation is difficult but very spectacular. I mean, you really want to sleep it away. Everyone's sleeping while they're awake anyways, so it's not that big of a deal. You just remember, you can sleep while you're awake, like every other person around this planet. So it's Inception vibes. Inception is a nonfiction kind of. It is. It's nonfiction. That's why we want to do this Midsummer Night's Dream, because it's a good example of the nonfiction of kind of time and dream and wake and then waking up again and all that kind of stuff. It actually is a pretty good example of that. So I'm encouraging everyone to kind of in the next week, a week and a half, leading up to solstice, we have a full moon, then we have solstice, and then we have 2 huge cosmic events in July, eclipses. Just get yourself ready for this. And I think it takes some organization. It takes some really looking at where you want to point your bow and your arrow. And as I said the other day, even if you're as aligned as you can get, it's still, things get off. the winds will throw the thing off. So you got to do your best. And then, that all you're responsible for is doing your best, which is kind of, you can really only pay attention to your what you can, we'll say change. What you can only pay attention to that, and then wherever it goes beyond that, there's some there's other winds that are going to take things, and that's why we shouldn't care about what people think or how many followers we have on Instagram and all that kind of stuff. I mean, that's just ridiculous. People, 20,000 followers. It's like 20,000 robots. I mean, that's basically what people are celebrating. But you can pay it. The environments and your relationships and your businesses and your daily kind of what you're contributing and your creativity, that's all stuff you can change and you can manage and you can do better at, and that's what you should be paying attention to. And you need to organize yourself so that you do that. So that's organizing your practice, organizing, however, if you're one of these people need 8 hours of sleep or something like that, organizing that, you got to get your scene together, and then, kind of solstice to equinox, see if you can and just practice this. And then let's see, the momentum that creates is going to be quite great. So we're very interested in that for you. All right. So I'll do a pre-solstice class on Monday, and then I'm going to Hong Kong, and I was going to teach on Tuesday, but they won't let me because I have to be at the airport, I guess, or something. So it's always my great idea. No, I'll teach right before I go to the airport, and they're like, no, remember what happened last time? So they won't let me. So I'll teach on Monday my pre-solstice class, and then I'll be back, kind of the 20-something after solstice, and teach that week leading up to our Immense Grace Accelerator, which is a Friday night and Saturday women's experience, all gender women's experience. So it's your best bet. It's the Aquarian age. So Friday night and Saturday, and that's the 28th and the 29th, and so join us for that. It'll be kind of a post-solstice experience, and we're calling these accelerators, which we borrowed from the startup culture, but that's what happens. When we get together, we accelerate, and then it's a good time to do that. So that'll be kind of my next thing when I get back here at the end of June. All right, that's our plan. We're going to work a little bit today to clear the meridian system and the nadi system so that more of this energy can go through you. And I want you to get inspired to kind of move yourself in these directions and get really kind of either work harder on the mastery of your skill set or get more organized and plan better. But I think it's worthwhile to do both. It's really worthwhile. And sometimes what you'll notice about your practice is new skills are going to kind of present themselves. Have you noticed that? All of a sudden, you're like good at things that you never knew you were good at. That's your kind of inherent accomplishments from other lifetimes coming up to the surface. It's pretty cool. Yogi Bhajan never told Hari Jivan to play the gong, ever, in the 40 years he was with him. These are the things that come to the surface, or to, be a musician. I mean, all this kind of stuff. Those are the things that come to the surface. So sometimes things are going to present themselves all of a sudden that you're good at, and it's worth you spending some time with. All right, let's do a little cat-cow, please.